Before studying insertion and deletion, let's see how we can move in a linked list and find pointers to some particular nodes. In this video, we'll see how we can find pointer to last node, to second last node, to a node with particular info, to predecessor of a node with particular info, and to a node at a particular position. So first let's find out pointer to last node. This is the last node. So we need a pointer to this node. This is the code that will give us pointer to this last node. Now while displaying list and counting nodes, we had seen that the loop condition was p is not equal to null. So there the loop stopped when p became null. Now here the loop will stop when p link will become null. And p link will become null when p is pointing to the last node, because the link part of last node is null. So this loop will stop when p is pointing to the last node. Now let's find out pointer to the second last node. This is the second last node of the list. So we need a pointer to this node. This is the code that will give us the pointer to second last node. Now here the loop condition is p link is not equal to null. So this loop will stop when this p link becomes null, and this p link will become null when p is pointing to the second last node of the list, because p link is this and p link is this. So when this loop stops, p will be pointing to the second last node of the list. Now suppose we are given a value x and we have to find pointer to a node that contains this value x. And suppose this value of x is 30. So that means we have to find pointer to this node in the list. This is the code that gives us a pointer to the node that contains value x. We have already seen this code while we were learning searching in a linked list. There we were interested in finding out the position of the node that contains value x. Here we are finding out the pointer to the node that contains value x. So when this loop stops, p will be pointing to the pointer that contains value x, and if x is not present in the list, then p will be null. Now we'll find pointer to predecessor of a node with particular info. Suppose we are given a value x, then we have to find pointer to predecessor of a node that contains x. So if x is 30, then we need pointer to this node, because this is the node that contains 30 and this is the predecessor of the node that contains 30. So this code will give us the pointer to this node. Here inside the loop, we are checking p link info instead of p info, and this loop condition is p link is not equal to null. So this loop will stop when p points to the last node, because we don't want these loop statements to work when p is pointing to the last node. So let's see how this loop works. Now initially p is start, p link is not null, so we check p link info. P link info is 20 and it is not equal to x, so break is not executed, p is moved forward. Now p link is not null, we check p link info. P link info is 30 and it is equal to x, so this break is executed and this loop is terminated. So we can see that when this loop terminates, p points to the node that is the predecessor of the node that contains value x. Now let's see how we can find pointer to a node at a particular position. These are the positions of nodes in this list. Suppose we are given a value k and we have to find pointer to a node that is at kth position. So if k is 3, we have to find pointer to this node. This is the code that will give us this pointer. Let's see how this code works. Now initially p is start and I is 1. Now I is less than k and p is not equal to null, so p is moved forward. Then I is incremented. Now again I is less than k and p is not equal to null, so p is moved forward and I is incremented. Now I is equal to 3. So this loop terminates, and we can see that when this loop is terminating, p is pointing to the node at the kth position. This loop condition p is not equal to null we have placed To terminate the loop in case when there is no kth position in the list, that is the number of nodes is less than k. For example, if k is 10 and there are only 5 nodes in the list, then this condition will terminate the loop.